Do you think it's going to decline the sales of Pepsi, or do you think the sales of Pepsi will be increased because of this? I was always a Pepsi addict as a kid, to be honest with you. I could never get enough of Pepsi. I was always a huge, diehard Pepsi fan. And if I came on here and told you that I wasn't a drinker of Pepsi, I wasn't a Pepsi addict, I would be telling you a fucking lie. I am a diehard fan of Pepsi. I always have been. My initial reaction to this was, what the fuck are Pepsi thinking, getting rid of aspartame? It can be looked at in a lot of ways. It can be looked at in the way of a positive thing to do for Pepsi and a negative thing to do for Pepsi, because so many people buy Pepsi for the aspartame that substitutes for the sugar, and it can be looked at in the positive way, because people who don't buy it because aspartame is in the drink will buy it now because aspartame has been taken out and replaced by another sweetener. But for being a Pepsi addict for a number of years, I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know whether to be for it or against it, but we'll find out how it fares for Pepsi. I believe it's as effective as June. I'm not sure what the name of the sweetener is. I heard it the other night on a news program, Global News National, and I caught the name of the sweetener, but I can't remember what they're bringing it in to replace aspartame with. But it's going to be interesting to see what the numbers Pepsi will be getting because of the replacement of this, and even going as far as to advertise it for being aspartame-free on the can. Really looking forward to this, being a Pepsi addict for years, which I'm sure many of you have been as well. There was also an interesting video posted that went viral of a stage collapsing during a high school musical. The spring musical, the stage collapsed on over 17 people who were involved in the musical, suffering from over 17 critical injuries. Everybody is okay and rehabbing from these injuries, but this video went viral. So many people talking about the video. It was posted on YouTube and other video sharing websites throughout the internet. So many people talking about it, some finding humor in this. I don't find humor in it at all. I think it's a very serious issue. I wonder what happened for the stage to malfunction the way that it did. It had to have been frightening for everybody involved in that spring musical. I had assisted in a lot of high school musicals, being a part of the drama club and just doing some technical producing for a lot of things that went on dramatically throughout high school, and I can't ever remember anything like that ever happening. Every once in a while you'd have a setback with the audio equipment or the technical production in the way of, computer animation or something, some video package you were airing and you were trying to figure out, what the hell was wrong technically. But I could never remember a time when a stage actually collapsed on anybody who was performing on stage after attending high school productions, drama festivals over the years that usually happen every year in April. This is actually the month the drama festival actually takes place in different venues. I can never remember a time when a stage actually collapsed on anybody, but this video did go viral. And I did find the video, and I posted it on our Facebook page over at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment for you to check out. Give me your opinion on that, because I could never remember a time being involved in so many high school productions for drama festivals over the years. Again, this is the month of the drama festival, and I was always a fan of the drama festival and the different venues the drama festival would take place in. But I could never remember a time when anything like this ever occurred, and my heart definitely goes out to everybody who was injured. Very unfortunate for this to happen during your spring high school musical. It's amazing. The video for it's on our Facebook page at facebook.com/HEW Entertainment, over on our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1. This week on our show, what I have for you is my thoughts on Taryn Trinell and how TNA Wrestling are doing so much phenomenally with her character. You compare Taryn Trinell as Tiffany in WWE to Taryn Trinell in TNA Wrestling. At least she's champion in TNA Wrestling, which I am a really big fan of. Over on our Facebook page, I posted the video of when Taryn Trinell won the TNA Knockouts Championship. Some of her title defenses since winning the title have included matches with Awesome Kong. She has been able to successfully retain her championship. Obviously, TNA Wrestling going to continue with the push of Taryn Trinell's character, something WWE never gave to Tiffany. Her biggest career achievement in WWE was the ECW General Manager role the company had given to her. The best thing about her as ECW General Manager was some skin was brought in as the ECW General Manager for the first time in years, and we actually got a chance to hear Taryn Trinell making an announcement and speaking on the microphone cutting promos, which is something a wrestling gimmick for Taryn Trinell did not allow her to do on the final few months of her career. She realized she wasn't going nowhere with WWE. WWE reached a point of confusion, I believe, with her character, and they let her go. Something I remember about Taryn Trinell was this emotional interview she did with the internet radio show. She was so emotionally affected because of her release from John Laurinaitis and WWE no longer wanting her services, and she spoke very emotionally on her release. So I'm happy for her that she's back on the wrestling side of things in TNA wrestling and getting more exposure in longer matches and actually having the opportunity to win championships and make a name for herself, which she obviously has done under her shoot name after being known as Tiffany for a few years. I have never gotten the chance to speak with Tiffany. I would have loved to have gotten the chance to speak with Tiffany, a.k.a. Terrence Renell, because, you know, I thought that she really had something special with her character, which is why I'm really happy that TNA Wrestling is actually doing something with Terrence Renell, with the, you know, the wrestling side of things with her character. The thing is, you know, they let her go the same year that they brought in NXT. That really pissed me off because they could have just sent her down to NXT and helped her develop her skills down there before bringing her back on WWE television. She could have came back more skilled, and she probably would have had an opportunity to win the WWE Divas Championship. That was the heartbreaker. And I also wonder, you know, being a part of TNA Wrestling now, what Terrence Renell feels about the WWE Divas division with how, you know, she's getting more exposure now as the TNA Knockouts champion. She's being pushed in a way she wasn't in WWE. I'd love to hear her thoughts on AJ Lee's retirement after holding the WWE Divas Championship a number of times, one reign being 295 days. No doubt she would say that the retirement of AJ was absolute fake and absolute bullshit because of how AJ handled her retirement, taking to Twitter. I would go as far to say that if Terrence Renell ever decided to retire from professional wrestling, she wouldn't go as far as what AJ did, handling so unprofessionally, going to Twitter to post a statement on her release, tweeting in less than 150 words. She would be thankful for everything that WWE had given her the opportunity to wrestle in front of millions of fans worldwide for the rest of her life. She would never forget it, but, you know, I think that she handled it very unprofessionally. How the longest reigning Divas champion of all time in just 5 years has gotten to a point where she's realized she's done everything there is capable for her to do in WWE and professional wrestling, so she doesn't want anything to do with professional wrestling, with so many rumors on her departure, from injuries to politics surrounding her real-life relationship with CM Punk. And now WWE obviously want nothing to do with CM Punk, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see Punk back in WWE. So AJ could have held on, kind of like how Kelly tried to hang on there on the last of it, when hoping that Andrew Martin was going to get his job back with WWE prior to his death back in 2009, 2010, at just 33 years of age. A number of different news articles were posted on that. She was trying to hold on. She ultimately made the decision to leave when she realized and the company realized Andrew Martin wasn't coming back. But, you know, Tiffany had so much potential. You know, talking about Kelly, you know, they put her in a tag team gimmick with Kelly. They were called the Blontourage on the last of it. And I think at that point, Tiffany realized that she wasn't going to go anywhere in WWE, so she kind of took a back seat in WWE and then was eventually released. And it was a few months after that we saw her on TNA Wrestling. Brooke Adams, the general manager of the TNA Knockouts division, brought her in as a special guest referee. I actually saw the debut of Terrence Renell. It wasn't much. She was the guest referee for a Knockouts title match featuring Miss Tessmacher, who's better known as Brooke Adams from WWE as an Extreme Expedus for ECW with Kelly and Layla. Remember that? Brooke Adams was in this match. Here comes Terrence Renell. And I said, you know, awesome. We're going to get to see her on TNA Wrestling. Not only did TNA Wrestling give her an opportunity, but she was also in different movies for Hollywood. She made a couple of appearances. She made an appearance during the campaign back in 2011, 2012 as a fitness instructor. That was kind of cool, how she made an appearance on that and a lot of other movies for Hollywood. So not only did she get a chance to wrestle, but she also got entertainment exposure in the way of a Stacy Keibler, who let entertainment go to her head because of her success on Dancing with the Stars, and she left professional wrestling for entertainment and got involved with George Clooney, and we all know what sort of success and publicity Stacy Keibler got out of that. They broke up, they went to Splitsville, and now where's Stacy Keibler? We don't even hear tell of Stacy Keibler. If we do hear anything from Stacy Keibler, it's on social media for something that nobody has ever heard tell of. So at least Terrence Renell didn't let entertainment exposure go to her head, and we still see her on professional wrestling. And the good thing is we see more of her with professional wrestling than we do with entertainment exposure. Not to say that she's not going to get any more entertainment exposure, but the good thing is we get more of her as a wrestler now in TNA's Knockouts division than we ever did in WWE, and we get more of her as a wrestler than we do in the entertainment side of things for Taryn Trinell, who is equally talented both as a wrestler and an entertainer. We've seen her on the big screen in small roles, no doubt, but we have seen her on the big screen, and we have seen her get a lot of exposure, and we're going to see more exposure from her, and we're also going to see more of a challenge brought the way of Taryn Trinell. Now, you do see the inexperience with Taryn Trinell's character. There's not always good things to say about someone like Taryn Trinell. You see the inexperience with her just as you did Lacey Von Erich, because Lacey Von Erich needed time to develop her skills, which is why I think she would be perfect for NXT's new style, new format, because I think that would allow Lacey Von Erich to develop her skills and eventually get on WWE television like she originally had wanted to do after being involved with Wrestlers for a number of years. I spoke to Lacey. She wanted to do something with WWE because of how WWE had treated the Von Erich family, inducting them far too late into the Hall of Fame in the mind of Lacey Von Erich and a number of the other Von Erichs. She referred to it as bullshit how Vince McMahon had looked upon the Von Erich family because of the tragedy involving her father, the Texas tornado, Kerry Von Erich. We all know how that fared, so obviously Lacey went elsewhere with her career, but you did see the inexperience, which is why I wish that she would have had something to do with NXT in 2010, 2011. And how long was Lacey there? Lacey was there for not too long. She was there 1 minute and gone the next. So at least Taryn Trinell, even though you see the inexperience from Taryn Trinell being a bad thing, but we don't see Taryn Trinell going elsewhere with her career being put on the back burner, even with the inexperience being shining through. With Taryn Trinell, we are seeing a lot of her wrestling, and we're continuing to see her being wrestling all the time, and that's great because, you know, not enough exposure really results in a lot of negativity for a lot of women in professional wrestling. And if there's one issue that is never looked at or never corrected, it's the limited amount of exposure that women get with professional wrestling. Lacey Von Erich wanted long